And the push to vaccinate the younger age groups continue, especially as cases continue to rise among the demographic. High schools around the state are providing clinics for their students to get as many of them vaccinated as possible. Dave Puglisi with the Fox 61 vaccine team is live in New Haven with the Elm City's efforts. Dave.
Carmen, here in New Haven, they're still trying to vaccinate as many people as possible, continuing with high school students. Any student over the age of 16 this week will have the chance to get vaccinated here at Career High School, and other towns are trying to do the same.
Get to that point of herd immunity, and there's a lot of kids that have not yet gotten vaccinated.
Getting as many students as possible vaccinated is the goal of the city of New Haven during a 5-day vaccination clinic being offered to students 16 and up.
It's not just New Haven public school students, but any student that goes to school in New Haven.
The state has provided 11,000 Pfizer vaccines to the city for the clinic at Career High School that starts Monday.
If we don't have enough appointments as young people sign up, we'll keep doing this.
Other cities and towns across the state, like Norwalk, are also getting shots into the arms of their high school students. The Community Health Center, Inc. is working with several towns, including major school districts like Meriden, Manchester, East Hartford, and more, to help keep classrooms open and safe.
We want to remove any barriers, and we want to support families in ensuring that they have the easiest means of accessing the vaccine for their young people.
Pfizer and BioNTech are hoping to expand the amount of young people eligible for the vaccine. They have requested the FDA to expand their emergency use approval to children 12 and up. Pfizer says their studies have found 0 cases of COVID-19 in fully vaccinated adolescents.
It's exciting that the Pfizer clinical trials are continuing and that we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel with this.
Now, Mayor Elliker says appointments remain open here, especially on Thursday. If you want to sign up, you can call the state's COVID-19 appointment line between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. For that number, you can head to fox61.com. In New Haven, Dave Puglisi, Fox 61 News.
Dave, thank you.